Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Let's do it!
Yo, dog, Kenny Boucher here, Next Level Painting, hitting you up on the literal best of all days. We're doing it again. We're live. Chaotic Painting, what's up, player? Dr. D, Noor, Mo's Magic, Francois. Mateo. My man Quill Daddy. How you doing? His mom. Tolis. What are you into? Buddy Fuster. What? Is the plan? Oh. Soraman, what's up, homie? That's right, hashtag peak male performance. Bequel getting better, home sometime end of next week. Glad to hear that. Soraman, Rip Hogan. I'll have to do something special for my fanny pack picture on Labor Day. Yeah. Woo. Just ate some chicken. Got my niece over right now. She's doing her volunteer hours. But the plan was hatched by my lady. So right after the show, we're ending it as quick as we can at 8. taking them to downtown Orlando for evening activities. War Pigman, what up, player? 72 months. So, what's today? 25th? So the month ender is Monday. And the last shot at the new dice bags. So the last raffle, Tuesday. So you gotta get those Yo Dogs to buy those raffle tickets. Today is 2x Yo Dogs, which helps facilitate that acquisition. You earn them for free, and you gotta buy into them here on Twitch. That's right, Francois. Shit on the floor. And oh, I did update the Patreon page. Exclamation point access. The Great Unclean one is current. Current. I got a DM real quick. Warbat, what's up, brother? 93 months, man. Warbat's an old schooler. How you doing, man? Just build the minis? What kind of minis? Templar chat. Francois says he likes the color palette. The green pale one. Me too. I'm having a lot of fun with it. We're back to Saturn 9 box. It's a cool box. So, yeah, we have the edited content out for the Great Unclean one all the way up until last show now. I did that today. So, I've been pretty good at getting into the rhythm of editing it and putting it up so that you can follow along, go back in time if you missed anything. As we now know, Twitch doesn't save my shit anymore. Warbat, it fits my salamanders. Had to get it. It's Saturday Night Slap. Fucking, I see some really good paint jobs online. Makes me kind of want to paint one. Some people are killing it. Ray and Pray, what's up, player? Whew, man. It has been an exhausting week. And I think that's just me being old, because I don't think I did that much stuff. There's some driving, some standing. Took a nap. Francois. Horace Harrison can burn 30k Legends units. 30k is the Legends format where nothing to be sure. You're right. That exactly. Warbat, you want to see you want to see me do a Saturnine? Praetor and Dread. Recoil, my lady, she's doing good, man. She's doing a lot better. Dr. D, Nap Slap. Sormon, everyone get their hotel room for Adepticon. Good reminder. All right. Oh, and also, since it's an off day, exclamation point class prize. Every $50 donated, we'll give away a class credit. It's double Yo Dogs, which helps with the raffle. Tuesday. Let's lock into the cradle. You got the Hilton, Sormon? I think that's where I stayed last year. Easy peasy.
Start the Friday right.
We got Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy coming in, dropping a 50 spot, 2x Yo Dogs, triggering a free class giveaway. Show your boy some love in chat. Thank you, homie. How you digging the new situation? Remember you mentioned last week that you have a long ass commute now, but a nice spot that really provides you with peace of mind. How you feeling? Oh, my man Matt Cool in chat. What's up? How you doing, homie? Finally able to paint too. Easy peasy. You got the Beats Lab set up now? Hey, man. Thanks, dog. Gazgol. Gazgol. $10 super chat over on YouTube says, fuck yeah, Kenny. New Long War was dope. Any new orc projects on the horizon? I mean, we'll have something for October for sure, Gazgol. Like, no fucking doubt. Like, we'll pause the commissions a little bit. We usually I like to get something going for October. I get some love in chat for Gazgol Thraka. Easy peasy. Back at it once again. Beats Lab setup. Found a train route to work. So now I can have peace of mind and save more money. Wait, there's a train that you could just take to work? You gotta check that out one day. Yeah, I'll say, man, you can do shit. You can do all sorts of shit on the train. All right, so we worked on the hand last time. Got some of these tentacles built in. And we focused a lot of our attention on this little hand. With this. Can I turn some of these lights down? These are the lowest. They're like slightly washed out. Look this up. Look this up. Just trying to back the light off a little bit. There we go. Dr. D says one day, Kenny, GW must have you do box art. That would be sick, dude. All right, so I'm feeling that. So we still haven't finished all the shading, but kind of feel like we're on a roll here with the front. So let's just kind of finish some of this arm out. And then maybe we can finally put the head on. Right? So move this for a quick second. Well, actually, give me a second because I've been a little behind on my brush maintenance. So we'll do a quick brush maintenance demo. Easy peasy. There's a train that goes directly to my office. Like it, what? $8 per ride, 20 minutes of driving to get to the station. That might be worth it. Templar in chat. Kara Quinn in chat. So I'm using some of this brush soap. Dude, if you haven't seen me use the brush soap before, I heard they have a new formula. Is it a new formula? Or just a new box? Go boy in chat. It's softer. Francois says public transit is loads of fun. You can fight a hobo, sit and piss, get to breathe, vomit, or get delayed because someone else fought a hobo. You can even get your pockets picked. It's exciting. Some water right here. Rinse some of this soap off. So I try to use it in as mostly a dry state as possible. And then for that kind of the rinse, then I start dipping it in some water. White paper towel. Kind of see where I'm at. Oh, come on. What fell? What fell? Now this big number 6. This has been taking a beating. I want to see how much of a beating it's taken. It's like right now I can tell like I didn't even clean it well or even rinse it well last time. It's stiff. Tom B over on YouTube. What's up, brother? I need to moisten it because it's glued together pretty much. So I used it and barely rinsed it. And it's been getting beat up. Easy peasy. If I don't see any stuff in the train, I'll seriously question life. There we go. Now it's getting soft. Templar. I'm thinking of starting black Templars, but paint them yellow. That's the best way to go here. Magenta white, transparent. Yeah, I think that's one of the fastest ways to do it. If you make it shelf stable, like where you just say magenta. That's your base coat. Everything's magenta. Then just skip straight to white ink. Right? Pull out some white ink and just do all your highlights with that over the magenta. And remember, the whiter you go, the yellower it is. So just literally, it's just two paint solutions, right? Magenta, white, or transparent white. No, there's no in between. Just straight to transparent white. Do all your highlights in transparent white, then do your transparent yellow filter. White ink, yes. So white ink, so instead of using like bold titanium white and like mixing it into the magenta, respecting it slowly, you could just go, because we're using it as a pre-highlight, you could just go straight to the transparent white. And you can use transparent white from Monument, but I think you're going to get more mileage out of just like a Liquitex white ink. And just, because it just hits and it blurs right in. You do a couple of passes with that, taking it to pure white. That's the cheat code. Because you're trying to do it over multiple models fast. That's the work. That's the technique that I've like workshopped. I workshopped with that with Rottweiler for his Imperial Fist, and he was able to do a whole Imperial Fist army like that pretty easily. Now, if you can't, see, so no bold titanium. So if you can't get the transparent if you can't get the white ink Templar to be as opaque as you want it to be, like it just won't hit, like to be a super yellow, then you could, for the final spot highlights, yeah, you could probably switch up the bold titanium. Templar. Yeah, transparent white has no ass, but it can be used exactly like this. It takes longer to cultivate. But Liquitex, like white ink, also doesn't have a lot of ass, but it definitely is faster to cultivate and it hits harder. There we go. So this brush now suddenly feels like a good brush again. Rinse it. There's some chunky pieces of dried paint coming out of it now. Usable. And last brush. And like in a perfect world, I do this every day. Right? Oh. The Black Templar models slap. They do. Templar. So it's taking a break from Emperor's Children. You need a little break. You wanna go gangster yellow? Because that's in their lore, right? Like they're part of the Imperial, like they're like a subchapter of the Imperial Fist or something. Oh yeah, no, I forgot. I've got this Dauntless. I've been getting pretty decent work out of this little Dauntless. This discount brush. Monument Hobbies discount bin. Got a Saturday Night Dread. I'm gonna run as a Redemptor. Gotta jam a Power Fist on him. Feel good about that too. All right. Sormon says cleaning brush is such an important part of good painting. It helps. Keeping your brushes operational. Templar says, without 50 Shades of Grey, the signature series, I can't commit to a black color scheme. Recoil, do I like the Dauntless up? So far, it's doing its job. It's, what is it, 00? Yeah. So far, so good. Donation is not working again, Rottweiler? Is credit cards off again? That's tight. Templar, Jason is literally losing out on dozens of extra sales. Rottweiler, yeah, I don't know, man. I guess it broke again. I had to go through support with them to get it fixed last time. Easy peasy. You use credit card? Did you use like PayPal linked to a credit card? Or did you just do credit card? Dog948. What's up, man? Credit card direct. So yeah, you got it to work. So use either the last one of the day. All right, so I want to kind of get into this like inner trap zone And then we can just put his, finally put his little face on. So there's some stuff in there I want to work on. So what I need out on the table is our heavy warm white.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys?
Your cops! Rub your dicks on the car as you run away! We are gonna have sex in your car! It will happen again!
Let's just put this over the top for class credits.
How does he always get Dirty Mike and the boys? Let me get some love and chat from my man Sorman, the white OG. Kara Quinn, you're here early. What's up, brother? So heavy, warm white, a big part of the color scheme. Lay that out. Another big part of the color scheme is straight up golden brown. Dog 9A4 says that painting is insane. Thank you, brother. I've edited the first installments of this. It's out on Patreon already. Exclamation point access. If you want to get caught up. Rottweiler, let me go look at the events real quick. I have nothing in events coming in from you. So if it did anything, it hasn't done it on my end yet. What? It straight charged you? Let's go look. Let me go deeper. Bro, that's suspicious. Like attracts like with Soramon and Dirty Mike. That's right, Recoil. I just want to troll Templar, he says. So I'm looking literally at credit card history, and it's literally easy peasy and Soramon from today. And in my like pending balance folder, it's exactly what they donated. So if Streamlabs has charged you, it has not processed yet, or it's going to bounce. And then, you know what I mean? One or the other. That's janky, man. Streamlabs, what the fuck are you doing? Francois? Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, you do, brother. Yeah, look at that. Rottweiler, I just got your text. It's janky as shit. Yeah, so I wonder if it's doing that credit card thing where it's like security deposit, then release. Dog says, best I ever painted was an Armored Sentinel. Well, you can throw it in whip if you want. Exclamation point whip. We can look at it a little bit later. A little bit mahogany. I just figured out if you turned off my tip announcement. Since Templar got upset and cried a little bit. That was your whole epic message? Templar, this guy I know teaches paint class. His name is Kenny. You should check it out. Also, I found that cooking class you wanted. Egg frying 101. Looks good. You should do well. Looking out for you, bro. That was your whole troll. The cooking saga. I like the part where you said it, he cried a little bit. Okay, so we got some noosh. And what I want to do is I want to get into this little spot right here and make sure it looks good before I glue the head on. So let's take the jade, the brown, which is going to instantly kind of make a grayish kind of jade feeling. The other brown, even some of the warm white. Let's get a lot of noosh. A little bit more jade.
And his name is John C.
Test. Is it working?
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Making it work. So maybe the real question is, what kind of credit card does Rottweiler have? Someone, Temple, that's a perfect opportunity for you to give him a tutorial on financing. Rottweiler, he was asking about the inks, so it was a perfect time. Oh, yeah. That would have been good timing, Rottweiler. When he was asking about the inks and I brought you up too. That would have been well timed. All right, so let's take this mix. Let's get inside those recesses. And it's got a lot of noosh. Okay, now we're going to switch out a little water and a little of the heavy warm white. We're going to work a little capillary blur. Little moisture. I'm gonna grab a little bit while it's still all wet, a little bit more jade. A little bit of water, a little bit of noosh. Pick up some of our weird brown. And because of the noosh component, it's got a lot of work time. See, I'm bringing some of that jade in the pipe. Stipple some of that moisture in here. I'm gonna take a little bit of the straight up mahogany. And I'm just kind of working some intrigue into that kind of recess. Here's a little bit of the warm white, the heavy white. Right there. Let's take some of this nooshed out brown concoction. So Armand, I had some shit with my credit card in the Streamlabs last month. I had to update the deets, let it sit for a day before I could give Kenny money. I had to update my deets. get on fucking get a support ticket last month. Moisture. A little bit of jade. A little bit of warm white. Heart pull. I'll drag a little jade in right here. A little bit right here. A little bit of our mud color. A little bit more mahogany. Some of our mud and jade. Take some moisture, get some of the heavy warm white. A little bit more mahogany. Some of these recesses right here. So inside that little recess, there's also like a collection of pox marks and boils and shit. Get some warm white. I'm just gonna isolate those boils with some warm white. Pretty high opacity. There's a boil right there. It's kind of like a cluster of herpes right here. There's also like 2 holes in there too. And the way we've been doing those is we have to put pure white in that channel, the crevasse. So Armand needs to talk to us about the noosh, how and why. Comes up a lot. Saruman. And I use it a lot, just for the nature that it slows the dry time down and promotes reactivation. But also, I use it because I can lower the opacity without adding moisture. And so so when you think about how I'm dragging a lot of these recesses in, think about it's like streaking wrap in this capacity. So, some pure bull titanium. And they see this is like the honeycomb, like holes pattern right here.
Love you, dog.
Oh shit, is that my man Recoil? aka Coil Daddy? Dropping a Honda 13 double Yo DZ, pushing us into massive class giveaway territory. I guess some strong man love for Recoil. This is a big part of the show. Good, a dear friend, supporter, volunteer. Look at this recoil. I'm doing all that with this Dauntless. Getting inside those holes. So those are that's the honeycomb part. What's that condition, like trypophobia, where you're afraid of holes? Let's rinse that off. While that's drying, so we can do our effects to that, might as well come back to the hand right here. Let's consider putting some pure white down on similarly on some of the pox marks. Just using high opacity, low moisture stipple. And we're going to set those up to be like the rest of these effects. Now, you don't need to do every single one of them. But definitely do a few. There's a little maggot right there. Coming out of the eye channel. You see on the tentacle, we should definitely consider some of those. So we already know it was jade, light bright jade. So I'm gonna mix bright jade and white together to make this a little bit more safe. More pigment. Fear of holes in the skin is called trypophobia, characterized by a strong aversion or disgust toward clusters of holes or bumps, rather than a phobia in the traditional sense. That's right, not officially recognized. Yeah, man. Have you ever looked at some pictures of like things that they're like, you know, that are excessively honeycomb holes and stuff? Like there's like fruit that exists that has like that kind of pattern. It does gross me out. Lotus seed pods. Yep. That's it. That thing is crazy to look at. Hurts me. Hurts my feelings when I look at that shit. Yeah, fear of holes in skin is common sense. Swoops. Right? So we're pre-highlighting these bumps, these potential boils. That's kind of the best practice for this kind of stuff. see, we already set a lot of these in motion, but you can always come back and do like one more dot of white. Kind of toward the top. It really set some of them off. But that's the trick. Let's get the white down first. Refrain from posting it in whip. Or maybe post the lotus pattern so everyone can see what I'm talking about. Like, in my opinion, getting some boils like this kind of locked in is just free bonus detail. Pretty easy to do. Big results. We take this off. So you see over here, I'm letting stuff dry. Let's grab our magenta wash. Saruman says, those light green highlights against the blue are killer. Thanks, man. It kind of came to us as we were kind of working toward that. And then I reloaded the airbrush and we made some magic. So see, there's like a bunch of skulls in here. You can't even see these once you put the tentacle in. Just grab a brush. So I'm going to take the magenta wash. And just paint this hole. And you can see here where the plastic is. That's how it connects. So you can't see any of this detailing. Except this kind, I think some of this outer flesh work. Because these skulls, they never even caught paint. Magenta wash inside that channel. I feel like we're allowed to do this. Okay, so you can see this part of the skin. Oh, I got a DM. Idolinosaurus in chat. Very nice. You like this? Does it make you happy? Does it gross you out? How about this little hand? Now I forgot. Let's take some of that magenta wash. Actually, I want to get kind of like in the recess. With a heart pool. Right there, you see that? Just to strengthen the saturation. Kind of along the perimeter as well. Here we go. Lotus. Oh, yeah. That one is particularly horrible when someone photoshops it on the finger. How does this make you feel just to look at it? When the hole has something in the hole, especially. That's a flower. That's the dry. That's a flower that dried out. It's a lotus pod, seed pod. It's literally a fucking dried seed pod. Like, it's horrible, right? Like, it hurts my feelings to look at. And then when someone goes a step further and photoshops that and it, like, over someone's skin, yeah. That's Nurgle. That's Nurgle. Yeah, it looks like a wasp nest. That's right. Kara Quinn, it's horrible, right? That's how I imagine all these little holes are. Since I have the magenta out, let's just stipple it in some of these open wounds. But you see, they all have these little holes inside. See that? They're all honeycombed. Or pigment, yeah. Like, when the holes have little things in the holes, bro, that's like a wasp nest. That's why they're so gross. Oh, they're little larvae. So I assume the flies, this is where the flies are born, right? And it's funny because he looks just goofy enough that it's not super scary. But like this type of demon with mouths opening up on him and shit like that is terrifying. like mouths and teeth in places that they shouldn't be. Yeah. War pigment. You had 2 lotus flowers on top of your wedding cake. Did they look like that? They were in bloom, so they look beautiful. All right. Let's run back to the front. Let's grab a little fluorescent green. A little transparent yellow. So I'm going to use transparent yellow on these big boils. And I've got it just watered down a little bit. See? Even here, got a little noosh in the mix. And this works really well over the jade too. That's it for a minute. Rinse it. Get the excess moisture off the brush. Let's grab the the fluorescent green. Shove it inside these honeycombs. Get a little noosh. Lower the opacity. Kind of just stipple around it. Bring some of that green in. I'll put it around these yellow ones, even. And we're going to kind of just glaze some in this little pocket right here. You just bring some green in. You see how tucked in a lot of that detail we just messed with was? So it was, I mean, like, it's behind his horn, it's behind the cloth drapery. So now now I finally get to put the head on. Now I've got a tore up paintbrush over here. And I use this to kind of spread out some of the glue. What's on my TV back there? That's weird. Man, this is nonsense. Now, since I have this arm off for a second, let's get some jade right here in this little guy. Little white, little noosh. I'm just going to kind of put some striations to this one. Using the heart pull. Rinse it. So this was really cleverly executed last stream. This tentacle nonsense. Hand, fingers, little face. Mateo, thanks, man. So let's grab some fluorescent green, some noosh. And I want to kind of stipple around some of these holes or some of these boils with some green. Kind of just drag it into some of the real estate around it. It's like a little kind of nexus of glowing toxic waste kind of vibe. Even around these. Some of that recessed apartment. Kruger. Just chilling, brother. Bring some of that fluorescence in. Top of the hand. So some of these effects we're doing really drive the paint job, right? These little technical add-ons. A little bit more right there. Side the hand. Let me lower the exposure. I feel like a little bit better to appreciate one notch down. I think you can see some of the effects better. Because of the nature of how bright some of this stuff is. Kruger, is this the monster which wand the bear head? I just turned one of my overhead lights off. I think that's a better place. You can really see it. Mr. Noon, what's up, brother? It's a couple spots I want to hit right here. Some pure white. I'm gonna go back to this mud color. A little bit of the heavy white. There's a couple of like swirls right here. Kind of how it's fat kind of ties itself into a little balloon knot right here. Just want to kind of hit some of that. And that's from our super nooshed out shade. Finally painted 2 miniatures from Warhammer. Almost painted, Kruger says. Greenleaf Terrain Studios. If it's hard painting a third 3D portrait of yourself, Burn. Oh, it is. Nice. Grab a little fluorescent green. Yeah, that's top. That's top tier. Bit in the eye. That's it. You calling me Papa Nurgle? Greenleaf? Love it. All right, let's set up for a whip session. Go grab a drink, top myself off. Exclamation point whip. And then we'll also do some class credit giveaways. So give me a minute. Be right back. Populate that Discord chat. I'm back. Yeah, so I came back in here. My lady was sitting at my desk giving the great unclean one a pedicure. So she was like, and I paint his little nails and he gets his pedicure. I think she wants me to teach her how to paint a model. I think we're getting close to that content. Girlfriend painting model content. Oh. See how clean they are? You can't even tell that there was ever any paint on them. She was hyper focused right there. All right. Let's lock in. Let's do a little whip session. Set up a little giveaway. Turn the app off, baby. I wish you guys could hear it. Exclamation point free class. I'm going to give away some class credits. Kruger, how cold or hot is 41 degrees Celsius? Yeah, did I lose my vape somewhere? There it is. What'd you say, baby? That's ADHD. It was literally in my hand. 105? Bro, that's mega hot. That's preposterous. So we're gonna give away some class credits. Stay tuned. 4 to be precise. Every $50. Okay. Go. Somebody blasting me with texts? All right. Do you want to see this AI that Recoil made, baby?
Yes.
It's on the screen.
That's so scary. You look like a pirate.
Took this picture. And they told it to make me Blackbeard. I was like, oh, is that Blackbeard? That's cool. And then he was like, look again. I was like, wait, is that me? Somehow? Easy peasy. Magenta white, transparent yellow combo. We were just talking about this Templar. And that's one of the strategies that he uses because he can kind of use a purple to magenta, subtractive, hit the whites, hit the yellows, and then cut back to purples. Okay, I quit it. Anytime it's hot, I just remember I'm not wearing 80 pounds of gear in the heat anymore. Fuck that. And he's cutting all these in by hand. Just the little details. Wait, my ship was in the back? War Pigment? Oh yeah, there's a little pirate ship back there. That's cool. Good job, AI. Still got 100 more of these to go, easy peasy. You just unpacked into your new Beats Lab, so I can't wait to see what happens next. Kara, Quinn, working on Sisters of Silence Rhinos. Still need to do Sisters of Silence in the gun turrets. Paint the gold. Maybe light weathering. These are darker purple in real life. Kara, Quinn, let's see here. That is beautiful. Is it just dark purple and purple? You know, two-piece? I like the bottom up fade. That's my favorite way to do them. It's gorgeous. Oh, it's 3 purples. So are you going all the way to like pale purple? What color would I edge highlight with? Depends on what your final highlight was. So what was your darkest position, middle position, brightest position? Kara, Quinn. This flux says magenta. No, it's dependent. He said royal, purple, and lighter one. So whatever your lightest one was, you have to kind of like respect into the real estate you're working. So if you're edge highlighting an area that's mostly like your brightest purple, or let's say it's mostly your brightest purple still with a little of the middle purple, then on your palette, you just use those 2 purples, making kind of the same mix, respecting your way up to the brighter position, run your edge highlights like that, and then progressively peak them out, moving brighter and brighter. But if you're in a darker spot that exists closer to your darker royal purples, same thing. Think about your airbrush. It was royal purple was purple. Find that position again, move it brighter, and edge highlight those. That respect will let you get away with a couple of bad brush strokes. It's quick, it looks respectful. And then on the angles, you can move further and further into the brighter purples. That's typically how I teach people how to do it. Don't just say, like, now that I've done all this purple, let's find a different purple that's even brighter and edge highlight everything. Almost always going to be a mistake. Hero Quest fan in the chat. What's up, player? He said epic beard. Thank you. This Flux asked what my pirate name would be. It was just Kenny. Kenny the pirate. Hero Quest fans, I broke down and bought some army painter washes. I didn't regret it, except for the green wash. But I'm going to see if I can get some mileage out of the for my orc army. That's right, your big orc project. This Flux says I don't seem to have royal purple. Is that Pro Crow? That might be. Yeah, it's one of the signature sets because dark purple is like their darkest stock purple. But a lot of times I'll use dark blue, dark purple, purple. Kind of ends up the same way. Beautiful work, KR Quinn. Little rhino rescue project. Hero Escape, War Pigment, working on those little wing fingers, aka the wingers. Hero Quest fan, you probably use some purple on your Chaos Space Marines. I wanted to do them Gen Con, but run out of time. Only time to finish my Eldar and maybe a few G-Studios. Purple's a great color to work with. It's got some ease, but also some challenges, so it's fun. Carrie Quinn says, I enjoy doing it backwards. Dark to light from the top. I like, that's one of my favorite things to do, is that it's just inversion of the highlight. It makes everything look more interesting. Greenleaf Terrain says, donate your beard to the bald. So, Greenleaf Terrain, tell me you're bald without telling me you're bald and you want to wear my beard hair as a toupee. Yeah, you gotta be methodical with this. Are you going straight in with the silver? See, that's where you see me use like the mahogany trick and stuff like that. That would work really well in this if you just did all the wingers and mahoganies. And you can fuck up a little bit just fine with that spectrum you're working in. And then just kind of skitter down with the silver. Just like we did in the Titan project. Metallic medium. Why are you, what the War Pigment, why are you always doing nonsense? You're painting these things raw metallic medium like a savage. There's like no coverage, no stick, no heft. It's watery. Why are you like this? It's like, I'm just gonna make everything hard. He's like, sorry. It's not me. I'm not the one doing it. I'm just like, are you even like, am I doing a bad job teaching this guy? I can see it now. I can see where you're painting it on that big, like the shoulder part of the wing, and it's barely getting any coverage. But essentially, it's almost always safer to build up. The darker colors tend to have more stick. as I'm sure you've already seen from this process because you use the iron. But the medium is not really a paint. It's super watery, super bad coverage. Even though it's like nice and bright and you feel like you can wash it really well, it's gonna end up being more steps. Better off using like just silver. The silver is very bright. So a lot of times more pigment, if I paint a silver, I'll use a metallic medium to highlight it. But a lot of times the subtractive process, which looks slower, ends up being faster. Which is, like I said, if you painted all the wingers just like mahogany, and then grab the bright silver and just kind of painted the tops of the wingers, it would give you the look of a wash around it. And it'd be 2 steps, right? Mahogany, silver. No bee-hole puckering, no stress. You don't have to worry about getting that silver up against the wing. Like when you think back to the Titan project, that's how we did all the trim. Because you had that beautiful airbrush presentation. Hero Quest fan says, I guess spraying it down with silver paint and then adding a color would be tougher. A lot of people in a lot of situations like have that as a thought of like not painting trim. Hero Quest fan. And there are times when that is a strategy, but it's not as often as people think it is. More pigment. Yeah, just my only criticism is just on the product usage. Metallic medium, not really a paint. Hero Quest fan. He said he saved time by spraying his orcs green, and it mostly works instead of black. That's a strategy, but there's an even more shockingly effective strategy for orcs, which is to start brown. Spray them all on the brown spectrum. Dark browns, mahoganies, golden browns. Build them up. And you can even go the extra step and start dry brushing them up into the ochres and stuff like that. And then once you have like all these dope orcs that are just in a nice sequence of browns, transitioned well, dry brushed well, then you can kind of just thin down the green and just kind of do like light base coats over the skin parts, like lower opacity, kind of like a speed paint. You could even probably use a speed paint and just carve out the skin parts, subtracting from the brown, and it looks really good as a pre-shade for green. And now what's left is all this like leather and cloth and metal. Then you pull out a small paintbrush, dip it in the metal, and just kind of start flicking the metal on around the brown stuff subtractively, leaving some brown intact, kind of rusty, and just kind of start subtracting out like that. Then maybe you're like, oh, well, the boots will be black. So then you paint them black. And before you know it, you painted a bunch of orcs and came to the epiphany that an orc is mostly not skin. It's mostly like cloth, satchels, and bandoliers, you know what I mean? So like getting caught up in the like doing the green tends to slow you down, with some exceptions. Some orc models are mostly green, for sure. Or Pigment knows all about it. Brown is the best color. Secretly the best color. Oh, these are lotus flowers that were on your wedding cake you were talking about? So lotus flowers are either beautifully stunning or give me nightmares. They either look like this or fucking this. What the fuck? Oh, Kruger over here painting some 40K minis? Bro, I'm so proud of you. Look at this. You guys remember every $50 donated, and we give away class credit. It's also 2 XO dogs, helping you queue up for Tuesday's last dice bag raffle. We only have one more. Go Hobo. And so, right now we're giving away free classes. Exclamation point free class. $20 away from a 5th giveaway. And it's double Yodas. Ken Kruger, I love it. Or Kruger. He said Warhammer models. That I forgot. Yeah, I quit. He said Warhammer. He didn't say 40K. I said 40K. Echoes X brown is truly the best color. That's how I did a lot of my Death Guard. Hero Quest says the combat patrols a lot of boys that are shirtless or open jacket types. Yeah, so in an orc lineup, you'll have like, let's say like 50 orcs. You kind of you start looking at them and you're like, oh, I'll just spray them all green. But then when you look at them, you're like, only like 20% of them that makes sense for. So you have to come up with a strategy. If it's only like 10 orcs, 15 orcs, you can do it. It's a strategy for like a 2,000 point army. Kruger says, I can't make the red glow. You mean like the lava? It says, when I use yellow and make bright points and the red turn into too much yellow. Even use contrast. Yeah, so red's got its own thing. So the thing about red, Kruger, now that you're working in more miniatures, is that people get hyper focused on the infinite highlight game of red. They're like, they keep highlighting it and highlighting it because they want it to go further. But here's the thing. Most of the time, the red you pick is kind of that destination already. You know? So don't think about how to get it brighter. Think about what is darker compared to that red. So you need to be putting more focus on how you got to that red, not how you go past that red. Because going past that red, a lot of the times, means you start leaving red behind and you start going to orange.
Someone say $20? Man, that's right up my alley. BTW, I am wondering if you have a strategy to paint walls in a house. Do I crank my airbrush up to max? Size 6 brush from Monument?
Hit Eating her and pays $20 is $20, boy. So we'll give away a 5th class credit. It's funny because my business name, Next Level Painting, and Firelight Painting is my email. So I've gotten 2 emails over the years consistently since 2010 to now. I get about 1 or 2 a year. And it is house painting quotes where people found my website, private people, private individuals, residential customers, and they asked me for a quote on painting their house. Which I'm like, at what point did you come to the conclusion that Next Level Painting is some kind of solution for all your Next Level Painting needs, including houses, from the information you've gathered about me? But it comes up like I said, once or twice a year. And the other one that's been coming up a lot is chimney cleaning, firelight painting, being my Gmail. So there's this, I don't know if it's a scam or if it's a real thing, but apparently there's this company that's claiming that like they're buying out chimney cleaning companies in a certain area, and they keep offering to have a meeting with me to buy my company because they think like firelight is somehow the AI grabbed it in a list of emails and told them that I was a fucking chimney sweep. Sounds like a scam, but still hilarious. There's an Australian house painting company called Next Level Painting and Recoil. But I'll show you a couple examples. K. Kruger, of what I mean by the red. So, first off, if you want to make the red glow, right, like here's an example, like when you talk about lava. So, you'll notice immediately it's mostly orange, right? And the way you do this is you have to start white. So when you're doing anything that is glowing or is fire colors, Kruger, you got to start white. Then let the white dry. Then paint it yellow. Now your yellow is maximum. Then move back toward the orange and red. But because if you do it the other way, if you start trying to put the orange and the yellow over the red, it will never be saturated. It will always be pale. So when you want to make something in this spectrum look like it's a light in a blaze, white, yellow, then orange and red. Okay? Now, when you're talking about painting red, though, and figuring out how to go further, let me see what I got here. Okay, this is the closest example I have. So if you see on the face, I'm not worried about... This guy has a lot of armor. I'm not worried about the same things you're worried about. You see? I let what is super dark in there remain, subtract it out to my chosen red. Okay? Then I just started adding white to the red. You say, I just started adding white to the red. That's the secret. And then start highlighting, like slowly by adding white, and kind of makes it pink. Then once you have all your shit popping, then you can go and glaze like a yellow back over it, or a lot of times the same red. You see? A lot of times I just glaze the same red back over, or a little yellow. And it will do what it needs to do to find all the positions between the red and the white, and keep the overall feeling still red. You see? Because the big problem is that yours is starting to look orange, right? Oh, and I forgot, I actually have an angron. We painted an angron on this bitch. So what you're seeing in that red, sorry, Kruger says, but is it white gonna turn the red to pink? Yes, it is. It is. But that's the thing. Like, don't think about it as pink. Think about it as bright red with no other infiltration of another color. So the same thing here. The highlighting was the white being added to the red, and then glazed yellow back over it. And so the yellow repairs the desaturation. And you see, it looks great. It's not a problem. It's when you start trying to like blast orange and shit into it is when it's a mistake. So, but this is using another strategy. Okay, there's another strategy in this workup, and you can see it a little bit on his hand. Gripping the axe down there. Kruger. And the other strategy is we're moving into a different color theory. And so there is a color theory, a color relationship that is warm highlights and cold shadows and colorful shadows. So the base coat of this model is actually dark blue. Then I just moved the dark blue into the chosen red through airbrushing. So all the shadows are cold, they're blue. Moving from blue to purple, because red and blue is purple, and then becomes red, but all the shadows are actually cool. So when cold and warm colors are next to each other, they look dope. So then when you go hotter and hotter on the highlights, meaning warmer and warmer, right? So I'm going red to pink to white. Then when I glaze the yellow over it, it's super hot. So all the highlights are super warm, all the shadows are super cold. That's a super solid red. One of the best ways to do red, in my opinion. Easy peasy. I'll let you know if you win anything. Thank you, brother. Kruger, painting miniatures is much more difficult compared to the big dioramas I'm used to. Yeah, you see, because the scale requires you to do everything. Is that white in his wings? It's red. Red mixed with white. Then white, glazed yellow. I glazed yellow all around it. And you see, it's like undeniably red compared to yours. You see? So in your mind, you're like, yo, but that's pink. And so you're like, but I want it to be red. But like, look at how much redder mine is. You see? Dark Horse. What's up, brother? And this is another example of a different type of model where we're doing the same thing. Kruger. Last example, where these are dark blue to red, cut in some white, red highlights, glazed back to yellow. Same type of situation, just a different red. So red is one of the colors I get the most questions about. Yellow and red and black. That's the top three. As Agrippa said, pink is pale red. Precisely. Whereas orange is a transition to a new color. And so another mistake people make is a lot of times they pick out an orange because they think it's like brighter than the red because they're trying to make it brighter. And a lot of oranges look brighter than red but aren't. Is another issue. Mr. Noon. We just did a wet blending class. Bro, you killed it on your homework, brother. Damn, dude, you did all your homework already? This Flux says, oh yeah, the black and white filter on photos. Yep, that's one of my tricks, Kruger. Is take your color mix, your colors, hold them upside down and take a picture of the bottoms of the paint pots. Go into your phone settings, go to filter black and white. So you just see like what's bright and what's dark. And a lot of times you'll realize some of the colors you chose are in the wrong order or shouldn't even exist. As Disflux mentioned. Mr. Noon says, got to burn it in the brain. Was a great class. Yeah, Mr. Noon, he actually took a bunch of my classes like a while back. And then he's just doing some refreshers where we're just jumping through a couple lessons. and we just coached on wet blending. And his homework was he had to do all these pizza slices in a tri-blend. And yo, look at that. That's all by hand. That's all wet blending. It's not glazing. It's not airbrushed. It's straight raw wet blending. Raw dog. Good job, man. Kara Quinn says, I realized I did use magenta for my brightest purple. Looking at this. Good. Or pigment. Example. Right? You see that the top two colors are almost the same brightness. In both of them are barely brighter than the bottom. So typically when I'm using a 3-piece, I want it to be a little bit stronger than that. I want the darkest one to be like notedly darker. So I can stretch that out and explode into what's bright. But you see, if one of those is the middle of the paint job, it almost doesn't need to exist. Bright jade and bright yellow, green. So a lot of that happens with greens a lot. And a lot of times you're like, why doesn't this look right? I mean, it looks cool, but it doesn't look like what it should look. Because what you've done is you've just changed hues. You didn't actually get brighter. And orange does that a lot too. Kruger, let's take a look. Is this one of your dioramas? Looking good. See, for these, the trick is mostly just perfectly smooth and clean application. Monument out. Let me get some love in chat for Monument Hobbies. Commenting like the legends that they are. Welcome to the show. We're almost at the end of our whip session. We're gonna do a little giveaway here in a minute. You get back to painting. Exclamation point. Free class. Yeah, it's crazy. Hulk Hogan. Oh, you deleted the picture. Yeah, Hulk Hogan passing away was crazy, right, guys? And Ozzy, obviously. Cat, stop. Stop. Fucker. Don't come over here unless you want me to grab your ass. Agrippa. Look out of here. Kruger says Jason is the best. I bought his mug and it's always very dirty. Chaplains are looking good. Love that vibe. The hardest, yeah, that's a common challenge, Agrippa. Making the parchment and the bone look different. So a big a trick there that I've used a lot in the past, Agrippa, is for the bone, I'll use like gray, like straight up just like dark neutral gray, and mix in like my bone colors to that, make it like desaturated, and then work it whiter and whiter and whiter. And then on a parchment, I'll use like some yellow mixed in with like the bone color or whatever, and set that up and make it whiter and whiter and whiter. So the paper's like yellow and the bone is like desaturated and kind of gray, or the other way around if you want. Beautiful work. Mateo, Eldar Madness. Nice. Good airbrushing, brother. Clean, clean, clean. Exclamation point free class. We're going to draw some winners here in a minute. Then get back to painting. Grippa used a higher ivory highlight in the paper, different color shadows. Yeah. Similar. That's what, yeah. A lot of times with bone, I go a completely different direction than is expected. And then just end on bone colors. It's looking beautiful. Good on Mateo. Are you using some like gem effect? Are you using like GW's garbage liquid gems? What the hell are you doing, Mateo? It's not like super bad, but I mean, it's a decent speed hack for sure. Mateo says I need to take the next set of classes. Yep. We need to jump into effects. Yeah, painting gems is actually easy. As Kara mentioned, easy peasy. Trying to use the rest of the GW shit. Yeah, that's that old gem effect, right? I'd say the main issue I have with it is you're jumping around with too many colors, Mateo. Really just kind of pick one color and just say like the gems are all blah. But it's small criticism. Looks beautiful. Exclamation point free class. 2 minutes on the clock. We're going to give some credits away. Minute left. Recoil, the eyebrow did raise them. It's true. Talking to Greg with my students. All right. Let's give away 5 classes. Eating a Rampage. For Pigment. Kara Quinn. Mr. Noon. Extra class. Easy peasy. So let me let him know he won. Let me DM his ass. Because he actually asked about this. Got it. Oh, he's here. Congratulations. Thank you guys for the support. Every $50 donated today is double Yo Dogs. So if you're trying to stack Yo Dogs for our big month ender dice bag giveaway for the raffle tickets, 1 bag left on Tuesday. Double Yo Dogs for the rest of the day. Let's run back into workup. Let's lock into the obesity cradle. Review where we're at. where you got the head on. Got a lot of these little effects popping off right here. We're looking really good from this angle. We should start thinking about this leg, this arm. Start subtracting out those. The staff probably is what we need to start working on immediately. There's more pigment mentioned. So let me refer to the box art for inspiration. Kind of like a stock wood. A little boring. I think we can do a little better. So we want it to be dark. It is clearly made of wood. So I put some dark neutral gray down. Now let's go grab a brown that's not on our table right now. Who I have in this drawer? Well, I have a drawer full of paints I bought for this video. And I think there might be something in it. Oh, where's the burnt umber? We haven't used any burnt umber. Beige gray. Bright warm gray. I bought all these for this project in case I needed them. Bright pale yellow. Khaki. All right, we got some stuff. I've been introducing a bunch of new paints to this project. And what I did was I went on Monument Hobbies website. Rather than buy this full set, what I did was I was just like Nurgle in my head. And I just like started scanning through each color code and just adding to cart colors that I think might come up. And we've actually opened up a solid 10 new paints that we haven't really showcased on the show before. So here's some burnt umber, which is a fucking great color. This is a known quantity. We just don't really use it here these days. Dark umber. Not even burnt. Let's grab this beige gray. Maybe just some classic bright warm gray. I think. Get some black out here. It's almost empty. I'd like to get a little black. Now, where's that number 6? So, what I want to do is I want to get the brown and the gray and the black together. This is the dark umber. And we're going to raw dog it carefully. Using a heart pull. Be slow, methodical here. You don't want to accidentally flick down and splatter some of this onto the model. Heart pulls and stipples right here. Which brush size? Number 4. So we use gray and black to make it darker and more desaturated. I'm going to invert, sneak in from the side, run kind of like a tracer. Whoop. There we go. So I got plans right after the stream tonight, guys. So we're going to be trying to wrap things up as soon as our time is done. Taking my niece out, my lady out to downtown Orlando to a dance club that is doing a Bad Bunny party tonight so that my lady can dance salsa. I think it also would be my niece's first time going to a club. So let's grab a little bit more of this mix. Less black, more brown. Might have to go down a size. Maybe go to the Dauntless. Get rid of the big number. Maybe rinse the number 6. Dale says, date night. That's right, man. There is an ass robe. I never even realized that. Good eye, Recoil. It's like a gnarled root or branch shooting out between his fingers, which is great. Shout out to Blades. Going with that raid. Life. It's going. And again, trying to get in between the fingers, clean and precise. We're just raw dogging. Like it very much if I didn't have to repaint fingers. And his branch, the way he's gripping it between his fingers like that, it's a lot of detail. It's a lot more sophisticated than a guy just holding a staff in his hand. Right? They went that extra mile on that. Gotta respect it. I put some noosh in the mix. I've spread it out on this big surface. Go. That's mostly the stuff really close to its fingers. So tracked it out. Shout out to Blades. Yeah, how you doing, man? Let's go back to the big brush. Now, here's going to be fun. Let's just take the straight up dark umber and let's just raw dog that on there. See, with no gray, no brown. Mr. Noon, are you still here? We're kind of talking about this technique in our web blending class, which you did. So what I've done is now I've just connected the darker position to the lighter position. And while it's still wet, I'll grab that beige color. What he pulled out. Rinse it. Grab some of that beige and that bright one gray. Just jam it back using some stipples. Cool thing is, like, that's an extremely dry brushable piece of real estate. Quell. No chaos sacks on this guy. Seems strange not to have at least one of them. Virgo's letting the team down with this in the sack front. You're right. Usually our chaos models are covered in sacks. Snazzy, what's up, man? Thank you for the follow. We're using just paint straight from the palette to the model. Painting the gangster. This is dark umber right now. We were using black, dark neutral gray mixed in for all this down here. And now we're just bringing more and more umber in toward the top. Finish. And then we'll use probably a lot of dry brushing, no lie. This gnarled staff. So it's, you see, we're keeping it very dark down there and we're letting it get brighter up here on the peaks. Here's some of that. What was that color called? Beige gray. While it's still wet. Spread it out. Let's rinse it. Get some of that moisture off the brush. Grab some of the bright, warm gray. That's definitely gnarled wood. So, no, we got to at least respect the wood a little bit here. Most chaos models have suspicious looking sacks in the belt, especially Death Guard. That's right. We painted a few chaos sacks in our time here on Twitch. Didn't I do the one on like Airmon staff? Spent like a whole stream stippling and feathering it to look exactly like a ball bag. That was like my proudest moment on that model. We're gonna do a lot of fun dry brushing on this. It's like made to be dry brushed. Rinse. Grab a little bit of that bright warm gray. And I can see that we're going to use a lot of the bright warm gray because I like that kind of deadwood color we're getting. See that? I can see that that's going to end up being a big part of the process. So that really dark bark moving into something more saturated, we're gonna bring it all up together. But I always like to put some variation in there if I can. Turn that top light down. And now you can, now that we've framed that staff, you know, it does bring a lot more contrast to bear. Ow. fucking cat up to? Feeling that. So we still gotta get leg, detail, and the whole ass back. So oftentimes I jump around a lot on stream just for entertainment. It's not the most efficient way to paint it. But look at how far along we are in this. Those cats in the hallway just going crazy. All right, so let's come up with some excuses to start winding down. No, it would give my lady a lot less anxiety if I designed an exit strategy that got me done on time so we can go. First I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Google, I'm gonna GPS. "38 minutes. It's not too bad. Good. Quick AMA. It's recoil suggested. Let's change the timer.
You gotta get swifty in here. It's time to get swifty. Uh-oh. You gotta get swifty. Oh, yeah. Take off your pants and your
Change
panties.
the timer.
Shit on the
5
floor.
minutes. Give me a little bit of extra time to get dressed and stuff. Hey, update on the AI paint simulator, Mr. Noon. It's there's some business dealings happening in the background. More to come in August. More information. We do have the Luxury Wargamers Retreat. That's like our big current project. Exclamation point Bourbon and Bolters, or we have a command for it. Recoil has a command for it. We have, like I said, again, we talked about it in the podcast. Talked about it last week. Haven't marketed it yet. Kara Quinn said, thanks for the feedback on the web. Haven't painted much lately and it made me feel good. You're welcome, brother. Exclamation point B&B is Recoil 3 up there. So that's like our big luxury Wargamer Retreat for January. Outer Banks, North Carolina. Ballin, at the Black Stallion. Got celebrity talent coming in. Small classroom size, all inclusive. And I did talk to Arthur. I gotta send Arthur another message, actually, Kara Quinn.
What book?
The unwritten book of the road.
Dark Horse. Everything okay? Yep. I'm just gonna. I have a big date night. I'm taking also my niece out. So a little bit extra time would alleviate some anxiety from the 2 women who are waiting on me. And yep, next Tuesday is the last dice bag. Today is double yo dogs. So you still have a couple minutes to jump in on that. Yeah, we're gonna cut out early, 2.5 minutes. Dark Horse. But yeah, we're going to this place called Beecham. It's like a theater, dance club, like auditorium. They have like a bunch of different themed rooms for dancing and stuff, and it's like Bad Bunny theme night, which is my lady's favorite shit. So I gotta go put my Jinkos on. Look good. As they have not done any of the new Space models as of yet. Recoil, what's a Bad Bunny? Probably like one of the most popular, if not famous, Latin musicians right now. Yeah, like you could say Latin rapper. He put out one album that was like that. Dark Horse. His reggaeton album. His new album hit. It's a box office smash. Trust me, I'm caught up, dog. Basically, yeah, that's when I learned about him too, Dark Horse, from that album. But like he's more of like he writes more like love songs, honestly, historically. So he's like, so Mark Anthony is like the king of Puerto Rico. Bad Bunny's like the prince of Puerto Rico when it comes to like music. So he's extremely popular around here. We're going to Puerto Rico next month. Guess why? I mean, I have no beef. I'm not trying to like roll my eyes at it, but I'm down. Kara Quinn says, I'm old and I like them.
You gotta get swifty in here. It's time to get swifty. Uh-oh. You gotta get swifty. Oh, yeah. Take off your pants and your panties. Shit on the floor.
All right, let's get a raid going. Thank you guys so much for your support tonight. Shut it down early. Where's the raid going, Coil Daddy? I don't see a lot of action right now. Thank you, Snazzy. Try to have some fun. Recoil, thank you. There's not a lot of miniature action right now. I mean, there is some. Someone named Gravenly Studio on. Do we take the raid there? Yeah, I don't see anyone else I follow too, Kara Quinn. I just had to go. I went filtered into miniature painting at 40K and I found someone looks like they got a bunch of sprues out and they're doing some modeling. Yeah, I'll hit the follow. Yeah, they got a big bits box out. All right. And a Chaos Nurgle tattoo on their hand, so literally they have a full ass Nurgle tattoo on their hand. So let's get this raid going. Oh yeah? Said she was coming to raid my ass. What did I say this guy's name was? Damn it. Gravenly Studios. Gravenly. Alright, here we go. Okay, the raid is ticking down, guys. Thank you so much for your support tonight. Bring the length, the girth, and the positivity on over to Gravenly Studios. Thank you. We'll see you again on Tuesday for the month ender. As always, until we meet again. Oh, I gotta set my shit up. You guys hear her yelling at the cat? As always, until we meet again, play on, players.
We had a rough start, but I guess that my heart couldn't sway her. She caught me off guard, though I've always been cautious of strangers. It was never my intention, but I should have known